Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. So this is the next stage really of the Ram Kangaroo. I'm still working on the body, still working on that assembly. But in the meantime, what I've done is started to look at the tracks and how to put the tracks together. I think the easiest thing to do is just get over to the bench and I'll show you what I've been doing and how I've sort of solved the issues around putting the tracks together. But yeah, enough of that, enough of my waffling. Let's get over to the bench and have a look. Right, so I've gone on to page 25 or section 25, which is about putting the tracks together, and I've had to zoom in. I hope this is all in focus because of the information that's there. So we're looking at one set of tracks which is handed, so this would be the right hand side. They have these extra parts on them, and the left hand side has the extra parts on them, and they're on the other side. These extra parts are actually on the outside of the tracks, so the outer face. I've forgotten what they're called, someone will tell me. Now excuse me. Right, so the parts, there are essentially three sets of sprues. This is sprue number AF, and on here, let me just move that out of the way so it doesn't get confusing. So that on here you've got part 1, so AF1 and AF2. AF1, AF2. In the diagram, whoops, sorry, hit the camera. You've got AF1, which is the part of the shoe with the sort of that shape on it, and AF2 is the underside here, or what is indicated as the underside here. So these in effect are the outer faces of the track. These are the inner faces of the track. The additional parts, AE1, and on both sides are in these sprues, lots of little pieces. There's, I'm saying, five sprues of that. There's 6 sprues of AF1, AF2, and then the other parts, which are indicated on the diagrams as G, this set of sprues here, there's 2 sets of sprues that are indicated with a mould mark. One says Y, and the other set, for some apparent reason, says Z or Z. I've looked at them very closely. I cannot see a difference between them. So I've looked at whether they're handed or not. They don't indicate they're handed, and they don't indicate that they're handed here. But these are indicated as G, and nowhere on those sprues does it say G. So very, very strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some parts off, put some together, and show you what it looks like. Before we go any further, I just had a quick look at, I should have looked before I filmed this. These are called duckbill extenders. Give better grip on softer ground. So that's what they are. So just thought I'd put that in there now before I start taking all this apart. What I tend to do when I'm doing these is I'll take all of a particular type of the part, or a particular part, and then I'll offload them into a tub so that I've got them and I can go through them, each one, and file them and dress them so that they're correct. And same with these parts. These will be done exactly the same, dressed and properly prepared. and then I can sit and just go through them quite neatly, I think. I think. Now these, if I'm correct, should just line up. Yeah, they pretty much line up. So it should be fairly straightforward to take these off of the sprue in these pairs as they are, and then lay them in and put them together. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few of those and come back to you. Right, so one of the things that I wanted to quickly go through and show in the diagram, you'll notice here that this part here, AF2, which is this little bit here, when you put the pins in place here, obviously one side is in place, the other side is waiting for the next part, as here. So you've got one pin in and one pin's in the next part. You also notice that the horn of the, I think that's what they're called, the horns of the track, are actually hanging down. Well, what that means is that if you take that part, and this is going to be fiddly because I'm going to try and do this on camera, so you'll have that in place there. Oh, it's very tiny, right? And that's going to be in place, but then the horn of the track, the horn of the track will point downwards. Fortunately, I've got nothing on my desk, so anything that goes into orbit, hopefully, will stay in place. Right, so that's the problem. Now, in my stash of materials, I found this. This is a piece of square section brass tubing. I think it's by a company called, is it KNS? Let's have a look. KS Engineering out of Chicago, Illinois. I, for the life of me, can't remember why I've got this material. I have a rough idea. It's just coming to mind. I think I was building a template for doing paving slabs. I'll have to dig. I'll dig that tool out while I go off on a tangent. But anyway, I had that there, and my thoughts are that if I place that part on there, might have to use some sort of, maybe some double-sided sticky tape or something of that nature. I can put that next one, come on, pick up, next to it, like that, and then in principle this part should, this is where it's all going to fall apart, obviously, because I'm doing it on camera and I've never tried it. I haven't tried this before, but this is what came to mind. So if I put that there, try and get it all square, and possibly get that in place there, and then the next one in place next to it. It won't work on camera, obviously. So what I'll do is I'll go away and do some of these, and then I'll come back to you. Being very careful there because I'm lifting it up. It's none of it's glued, apart from these bottom pieces, which are held in place on the brass strip, excuse me, with some double-sided tape. My thoughts on the matter are, this is very fiddly, and I'd refer to a comment I made on John Alec's scale modelling YouTube video recently, where we talked about putting armour tracks together and Zen and the art of track building. Yeah, this is fiddly. The point now is you don't want the pivots here to be glued, but you want that part to be glued. So I'm going to attempt to put a small amount of Tamiya's Instant extra thin, or the quick setting extra thin, whatever you want to call it, into place, just so that there's enough there just to hold this part, and then carry on and see how far I get before I end up pulling my hair out. But yeah, this is definitely tricky. But anyway, I'll proceed, and I'll come back to you probably in about I don't know how long, but hopefully I've got a length of track done, and then that will sort of get me an idea. I'm not going to put the duckbills on yet. Duckbills are in that little tray there, and they'll be, once I've got a whole length of track on, then I think I'll set about putting the duckbills on as well. Right, so I've done 3, which I think, having done 3, I think once you've got a rhythm going, you could probably be quite productive. It took me a while, I must admit. There's sort of little knacks and things that go to putting it together, but I think this is the way to go. I've done a complete length here, and I say a complete length. The reason I'm saying that is I've still got the body of the tank here. I don't know if I can get this into shot as well. But are they called trucks? I don't know. I'm sort of referring to them as trucks, but yeah. So I've got a length that is the bottom run. So what I'll do is I'll just let that lot set, and then what I'll do is I'll start again and do another run, so it's the other bottom set, and then I'll look at, you know, making sure that I've then got another set that joins and makes the curvatures around the idler wheels and the drive wheels. It's taking a while. It is taking a while. You've got to be in the right frame of mind to do it, and sometimes you're just not. So yeah, that's how I'm putting the tracks together. So hopefully next time I get everything together, they'll be complete. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found that useful. I hope you found it an idea as to how you can put the tracks together. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.